total penalties, 5 personal fouls, 1 including myself. So that it was an emotional game, and I think that it sucks losing. But when I'm, talking to the guys and just knowing for me to understand where they're at and to see their fight, I appreciate that.
What was your conversation with Terrence Miles about, and what was it about that situation that pushed you over the edge to get the play?
Yeah, I saw what happened, and our guys are fighting their asses off to get off the field, and I saw what happened. So I explained my opinion on it, and I don't regret it.
Matt Nagy after Monday night's game with plenty of laundry on the field, plenty of calls, plenty of personal fouls, plenty of stuff, including one on him as he tries to hold his coaching career in Chicago together. He'll end up somewhere else. It's not like he's going to be unemployed, but it's feeling like he's going to be gone. And you could argue that for any of these coaches who end up on the hot seat, one of the reasons is they get some bad calls. And, for every bad call, the other side of it is the good call for somebody else, but it's still a bad call. And after further review, we focus on some of the bad calls of the week. And Chris, let's start with the play that got Matt Nagy upset,
right,
and that got him penalized in the first half. Deion Bush, Bears safety, unnecessary roughness call for a hit on Tyler Conklin, the Vikings tight end. This is first quarter, minute 13 to play. It's the call that, look, this is the defenseless receiver, the head or neck area contact. If you watch it closely, you see his head jerk. Something hit him in the head there. It's not as egregious as what we've seen in the past, but we've seen these calls enough to know that if you pop a guy up high when he's stretching out like that to catch a pass, you're going to draw a flag in today's NFL.
I hate this. I mean, what is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? I mean, we're getting to the point where now we're going to just tell guys to just, hey, stop and let him catch the ball. Like it's your own.
We've been saying that for 11 years, though. We've been saying that for 11 years. What's he supposed to do? And the easy answer is do something different. And that's what they'll say. But what different can you do there as you're rushing over to try to disrupt
At what
the
point
catch?
is it gonna err on we're putting the defender in an unnecessary health risk? Again, first off, it wasn't that egregious of a hit. He did not launch or try to take the guy's head off. He could have.
And he was falling.
He was
again,
falling.
The target's lowered.
Right.
He's falling.
And the real problem here is, again, the $30 million a year quarterback who throws the ball into that situation. That's where it's disgusting. It's stupid. I don't know the way to say it. Come on. I hate that call. I hate it. That's where I don't get it. Again, it's bad offense being rewarded. We see this every week. And the other problem is we're going to get in the playoffs or the Super Bowl, and that play is going to happen 50 times, and nobody's ever going to call it then. But it got called the other night, and it's to me.
Whoa! They still call that. That gets.
They'll
called.
call it less.
I think that I remember when they first started this. The spark for it was the 3 bang helmet to helmet hits on defenseless receivers in real time, like 15 minutes apart. And I think I still remember everyone involved. It was James Harrison hitting Muhammad Massaquoi. It was Dante Robinson hitting Deshaun Jackson. And it was Brandon Merriweather hitting Todd Heaps. Boom, boom, boom. That's what caused the NFL. The rule was on the books, but they really emphasized on the fly the hits to the head or neck area of defenseless receivers. And I remember at one point the instruction was to err on the side of throwing the flag. And then they realized, well, wait a minute, we don't want to say err because that means we're tolerating error. But the bottom line is for over a decade, they've been looking for that. They're trying to remove that big blow to the head of the receiver who's in the process of trying to catch the ball. That was the hit that paralyzed Darryl Stingley back in the 70s in a preseason game. And it was commonplace. It was one of the reasons why he didn't go over the middle. And it was one of the reasons why the quarterbacks didn't throw it. And that's your point, and it's Tom Brady's point. These rules reward bad play and encourage bad play because you get your quarterback taking a risk he shouldn't take by putting the ball in a spot where he's going to get his guy blown up.
Yeah,
hey, I got 15 yards out of it, but I still got my guy blown up.
Yeah, right. Got blown up. Hey, he's got a concussion. He can't think straight. But, hey, we got 15 yards, guys. First down. Great. It's wrong. It's wrong in all aspects of the game. It makes no sense. It does not. And, again, it just goes back and you have a great defense. You're chopping out, one of the limbs that makes them great. Is that fear factor. So, yeah, I hate that call. And, again, I don't know. That to me is just, again, where I wish common sense was involved a little bit more. By the letter of the – I don't even know what that is. By the letter of the law, I don't think that was anything. There's a guy that got hit in the upper chest area, and guess what? The upper chest area is connected to the head, so when you hit that area, the head might move too. It's just lack of common sense.
It's another reason to have Sky Judge or replay review. They have needed replay review at a minimum for these calls for a long time because every once in a while we see one where in real time it looks like the guy got blown up, and when you see it again, he didn't. And that happens from time to time. And to give up so much field position for one of those plays, it's such a critical thing that I think should be part of this broader process, whether it is Sky Judge or replay review. Let's take a look at another one from the Bears-Vikings game. This is the rule that was adopted this year. This is part of the effort to protect the lower bodies, the low block, the idea that outside the tackle box, you can't either block a defender low or try to take an offensive player down at the knees. Dalvin Cook is running the ball. Tease Tabor tries to make the block. Standing between Tabor and Cook is Vikings tackle Brian O'Neill, and the problem is in the effort to make the tackle, Tabor took out O'Neill's knees and got flagged for a low block, and I don't think that's what they intended when they put that rule in place, Chris.
No, I mean, no, but again, to me, this is common sense applied appropriately, at least in my opinion. Again, it's still dangerous to this guy and what he does. He's trying to do a little bit of both there. He's trying to, yes, I'm going to make the tackle, but I'm also going low so this guy can't knock me out. You got to protect the player there. I'm not going to be mad at this. This is one of those, it's tough because the guy is trying to make a tackle, certainly, but he's also going low knowing that guy's there and about to block him.
But he shot through and made the tackle.
Yeah, he
did what he was trying to do.
I know, but he also, was so close to blowing the guy's knees up. He almost ended the guy's year right there. Again, so that to me, again, whereas I'll go, okay, I could deal with that penalty there. I don't love it, but I could deal with it.
I don't even see him hit him all that hard. It's not quite the same phantom call as we had in that Bears-Steelers Monday night game several weeks ago, but it's not like he even made square contact. And I'd have to pull up the rule and see whether or not it requires forcible contact, but if it does, there was nothing forcible about it. He shot through and made the tackle on Dalvin Cook.
Well, then you're going to, if you allow this is going to be like cheated all the time. People are going to go, oh, I was shooting through to make the tackle. Oh, you blew your...
But he was.
I know. But he's also going low knowing he's about to get blocked. He's doing both. He understands there's a guy there to block him. He's got to kind of like get both. I think you got to protect the player there. I'm not going to be that mad at it.
This is what will change the game because of that rule. Because I think the Vikings were trying to take advantage of that rule, knowing that when you get out in space like that, where you've got the running back and you've got the offensive lineman in front of him, nobody's taking that offensive lineman out. Because you can't take him out the old-fashioned way when you get to the second level. The linebackers, the defensive backs, hit him low, and he's gone, and you just go get the ball carrier. Now, because you can't use the time-honored weapon for little guy attacking larger guy, what happens is all you can do is go face-to-face, chest-to-chest, and he's going to put you on your ass. So that's the practical reality of this evolution, if not revolution, away from the low hits. It's going to put a premium on the guys Bill Parcells used to always want. The bigger, stronger guy. Always give me the bigger, stronger guy over the faster, smaller guy.
Yeah.
Because the bigger, stronger guy in close quarters is going to kick that guy's ass. And now when you take away the ability of the smaller guy to take him low and put him down, you're going to see more plays like this where the big guy's going to be out there leading the way, looking for somebody to wipe out. And if Tabor hadn't gone low and taken out Dalvin Cook, what was going to happen is O'Neal was going to put him on his butt, Chris.
Or he avoids him and gets on the really high side of him and then can just make Dalvin Cook cut inside. But, yeah, this is a tough one. I get it. But we also see guys tear their ACLs all the time with this one. And I err on that one of protecting the player to a degree. You know, I do. It was a tough one there. That's a tough call. Hopefully we don't have that circumstance happen a whole lot. But you know, I guess I didn't have as a problem with that as maybe some of the other ones we're going to show here as we go along.
I want to see more contact before I see a flag on that. I want to see a more square hit to the knees. I don't think attempted low block should be the foul. I think you should have to actually really hit the guy low and put him in a position where you may have, in fact, injured him before you get that foul. Here's an example, one that's more clear, and I think we'll both agree that this hit by Darnell Savage. And I don't like calling it a low block because it confuses people, because why is a defensive player trying to block an offensive player? I don't know what better name would be, but that's what they're trying to take out of the game right there. When you neutralize a lead blocker by hitting him low and taking him out, because Darnell Savage did not want to get blown up by larger, stronger guy. That, you know, and that was a staple of football forever. And now this is the first year that it's gone, but that's the adjustment you have to make. He's got to take that guy face to face or run around him, as you said.
Yeah.
You can't take him out the way that they used to. But it's amazing to look at that. If they just showed this a year ago to us and said that's illegal, we'd have said, well, what, is there a face mask we don't see?
Yeah.
What did we miss here?
Right.
What's illegal about it? But it's a pretty significant change. All right, let's stay with the Ravens game. A pass interference call by Kevon Seymour against Alan Lazard, the Packers receiver. Let's take a look at it, and we'll see how this all played out. There's Aaron Rodgers.
I know Ravens fans
MVP
are mad at this.
Favorite.
Right.
Let's what do we got here? I mean, I see a little jersey tug, but not much. So that was called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
It's tough. Listen,
significant hampering.
It's
significantly
tough.
Hinder is the word.
Well,
in
right.
The rule. You have to significantly hinder. I don't think there was significant hindrance there.
Well, again, this is one that's people are going to see differently. Again, what I would say here, and you know me, I don't really err on like offense or helping the offense out a whole lot, but like he certainly helps himself, the DB. And again, you don't need to grab the jersey with these gloves. These gloves will grab jerseys without you grabbing. He gets his hands around the waist and, to me, hinders the guy's ability to come out of the break. Now, he should have caught the ball, period. It doesn't matter. But, you know, again, I'm not going to say I sit here and have a huge issue with that. That is hindering a guy more than people, I think, give it credit for. It doesn't look like it as much in slow motion. But, again, I mean, I want to tell people, like, go out and run in your backyard. Let me put my hands on your hip as you're coming out of a break, and let's see how great you come out of that break. You know, to me, that's enough, and that should be called.
This takes me back a couple of weeks ago when Zay Jones was hindered by Bobby McCain, of Washington, where the jersey was pulled and you could see it.
Yeah, right.
And Perry Fewell did a video the next day where they just recite the conclusion without explaining it. There was no significant hindrance of the receiver. Well, of course there was. You could see his jersey was pulled.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If the material is pulled tight,
right,
you are necessarily restricting the guy who's wearing the jersey. In this case, I saw a little of it, but I understand what you're saying.
You'd rather not called? Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, but it still hit him in the hands, right? It's still, I mean, they say it has to be a catchable ball. Well, this clearly was catchable because it hit his hands and he should have caught it. And I know that catching the pass doesn't wipe out pass interference. We see that happen almost every week where the guy makes the catch and he was interfered with. But if this isn't significant hindrance, then that isn't.
No, that's the problem.
The
inconsistency.
I believe this is significant hindrance. So that should have been a call, and I think that's more egregious.
It is
than the other one.
It is. Again, now Alan Lazard is 6'5" and he's 225 pounds. You know, he's not going to just be like totally, you know, killed by that. I get that. Nor was Zay Jones as you're pulling his jersey. These guys are freaky athletes. They can, you know, still kind of control their body in those situations. But, you know, again, when you start to pull people when they come out of breaks, that to me is different than two guys hand fighting downfield for a go route or a 50-50 ball. So I'm not as mad at that one, I guess, as some other ones I see throughout the week.
All right, let's move on to the Giants.
Oh, this
game
one.
against the Dallas Cowboys.
This is
Colin
a
Johnson,
debacle.
Catch and fumble, reverse to a catch and down by contact.
Wrong and wrong.
Is created. Let's see. Let's see how many ways they failed on this one. All right. Yeah, that's a catch and a fumble, and I don't think there's any other two ways about it. There's the catch.
He doesn't survive the ground, and he only took 2 steps.
And so
he's going down. He doesn't survive the catch. It shouldn't even be a completion.
So wait a minute. Let me see it again here. He's got his feet down. He's turning upfield, but he never really tucks it.
No.
That's where you have to be careful with the new catch rule, where you have that turn, you make that move, but you still have to have the ball secured when you make the move. And there are situations where the guy's making the move as if he has the ball, but he doesn't really have the ball. That's the key. I think he's turning enough to complete the act of the catch if he has the ball, but it looks like he doesn't have the ball.
No, and it's barely 2 steps, and at least in my opinion, he catches the ball and has 1 foot kind of on the ground about to come up, and he takes the other step as he's falling and going down there. Again, what I want to say more than not, and to me what does affect this, and I saw Pereira and Blandino break this play down a little bit. And I do think that this goes back to a little bit of like that Travis Kelce play we saw a few weeks ago, the one Vrabel texted on, as far as or made the tweet about just the catch, no catch, and the football move and all that. First off, I don't think this is 3 steps in a football move. He is going to the ground.
Well, it's definitely not 3 steps,
right?
But you don't have to have 3 steps to make a football move.
Right. I get that. But the other thing is, slow motion is ruining these type of plays. Again, if you watch it in regular fast motion, I don't think I would sit there and ever go, oh, yeah, that was a catch fumble. I wouldn't. I just go, man, I don't know, that happened so quick. There's no way he caught that football. Slow motion, we all go, oh, well, look, he had it for that split second. Yeah, but that was in slow motion. I think that's kind of distorting our view of these plays. Either way, they got this completely wrong, in my opinion.
Well, and that's why we've heard the argument from time to time that maybe the replay review should always be full speed, that it should never be slowed down. Right. Because how is it clear and obvious if you have to take it frame by frame to see what really happened? It's necessarily neither clear nor obvious if the only way you know what happened is if you look at it like the Zapruder film.
Yes.
I think think it should always be full speed. It should always be full speed, and you should always have a limited amount of time to do it. And I remember when they first brought this back 20 years ago, they were very strict about the amount of time that you had, and that was when the referees made the decisions at the game site. The feed would cut. They kind of morphed away from that because they decided we just want to get these right. But that's a way to ensure that it's clear and obvious. I mean, if you've got a certain amount of time before it goes black, like the last episode of The Sopranos, and you don't know what the hell happened, if you don't know what the hell happened, then you stick with the ruling on the field.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to see at full speed, clear and obvious, in that amount of time what happened. And if you didn't necessarily, the human eye, not in real time, but after the fact, didn't come to the conclusion it was clear and obvious. I think that's part of the way to protect against this temptation, to be surgical about it when you're really not surgical. This is more of a sledgehammer review, not a surgery review, and maybe that's what happened to screw that one up. Not that it ultimately had much of an impact on the game, but it's just the kind of thing where they should always be striving to do better. All right, roughing the passer or nothing the passer, that's always part of this segment. Here's Andrew Van Ginkel of the Miami Dolphins with a call on Zach Wilson. Roughing the passer or nothing the passer. And I've said this every time we see a play like this where you see someone closing in on the quarterback as the ball is being thrown, you're just holding your breath now for the possibility the flag comes in. So, Chris, what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I got no issues with it. I don't. I don't. It's close. Even if it wasn't called, I'd go, okay. That's fine with me too. It's a borderline. It's a clear 2 steps. This day and age in the NFL, I feel like it's going to get called more times than not. But if it wasn't called, I would have no issue with this. I would not. This is a tough one for me. But I'm not going to be
if he doesn't fall down, does he get called?
Oh, probably not. No, probably not. But again, we see roughing the passer called all the time when quarterbacks don't fall down. I mean, all the time. But this is a tough one. And I could see this one going either way. It was right on that, right on that, spot of that was close to being, too late or too many steps. I'm not mad at that one. I don't think it's egregious. I've certainly seen way, way worse since we've been doing this segment, after further review.
I would suspect that coaches are now telling the quarterbacks in situations like that.
Just go down.
Not that it's a flop. That it's a flop.
Right.
Just don't fight it.
Yeah.
Just don't fight it.
Right.
Don't try to stand up. Don't be a tough guy. You take the hit. Go ahead and fall down because you're more likely to get that guy who's exercising discretion to throw the flag. And remember the Saints-Titans game where we saw the umpire, I think it was Brad Anderson, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to call out the wrong Brad Anderson, but you see the hand reach in. What am I going to do here? Am I going to pull the flag out or not? I think that if you embellish it a little bit naturally, you just kind of go with gravity, maybe you get a better shot of getting the flag.
Yeah.
Here is Matt Ryan shows up in this.
It's been a lot.
Time.
Right.
There's a benefit of being an NFL quarterback since 2008. You get the flags. They protect you. Even if you've never won a Super Bowl, although you should have, you still get the flags. Let's have a look at Arden Key from the 49ers applying the hit to Matt Ryan on Sunday. Well, this is the full body weight rule. All or most of the body weight. So he's necessarily defenseless. He's defenseless in the pocket. Pete's asking the question of whether he's defenseless. By rule, you're defenseless if you're a quarterback in the pocket. This is the provision of the rule that says if you put all or most of your body weight on the quarterback, you do get flagged. And the question of how do you avoid it? You know how you avoid it? You roll as you're landing on him. You don't squish him. There's a way as you're going down. The technique is you take him down and you roll off. You're getting him down. You don't have to land on him. He's going on the ground. You got him. You can roll to your left and not do that. The Reggie White on top of Phil. That's what we've talked about is how in the hell is Phil still walking after the way he got physically abused? That used to never be a foul. But that's that full body weight on top of him. So that one's not nothing the passer. That one to me was a legitimate call. That one's more roughing than what we saw earlier with Van Ginkel hitting Wilson. Because that put the quarterback at more risk.
I guess, I guess. Again,
all or most of the body weight. I pulled up the rule during the game.
Again, he is tackling. He's tackling a guy that's 6'4", 230. Like he's got to bring some force to it.
Look at the upper body. Look at the posture of the upper body. Show us that angle again. I guess we'll get to it. Watch. This is the I know what I'm doing here. I'm a defensive player. I'm a professional athlete. I'm in control of my body, and I'm giving him a little. Watch the shoulders as he comes in. He knows he's getting this. Watch the top of his body and the head dip down. This is my chance to drive him into the ground, and I'm taking it. That's a foul in today's NFL. There it is right there. I'm driving him down. I'm not looking to just get him onto the ground and roll off and protect him. I'm driving him into the ground, and that's gonna be a foul in today's NFL.
I know. I don't like it. I don't. Again, Reggie White was famous for picking people up and then just totally dumping his weight on it. Yeah. Right.
You see that technique where you get the legs and you drive. But this is the same thing. It doesn't say scoop. It's all or most of the body weight.
I know, but you're going to hit people and you're I don't know what, I don't like those. I don't like those. In fact, I'd be more in favor of the Zach Wilson that one than this. I don't. Again, at some point, someone's going to do that, and they're going to hurt their shoulder or hurt their arm because they're worried about we can't hit the quarterback and do that. And
I think that Arden Key could have as you get on top of him, it's a subtle move to the left, and you take him down that way. You ride him down. You don't get on top of him. You just kind of like we're going to fall together. Right? I'm not going to drive you into the ground. I'm starting to think that you are feeling a little lonely in Club No Spleen. That's what I'm starting to think. I think you want one of these. I think you want Matt Ryan to lose his spleen so you two can be spleenless brothers.
I just want, I want them to dial it back with this stuff. I do. Again, it's football. It's not. This is not band camp or the choir, and everybody knows what they signed up for. That one right there, I don't think any quarterback in football would go, man, that was kind of dirty or egregious or anything. I know the rule is what it is. But again, this is where I just would like a little bit more of like, hey, a guy's fighting. Now he's got the quarterback, and he's going to jump at him and lunge at him. He's going to try to make the sack. It's hard to do, oh, wait, while I'm in the midair, let me turn and do all that. It's an emotional, tough game. I'm all for protecting the quarterback when it becomes, okay, we're going to lift and dump the guy. We're going to launch at his head, launch at his knees. But some of this to me is just physical football play, not anybody trying to be dirty or do anything that way. I know by the letter of the law that's correct. I don't love that one. I don't.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.